Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back, my divine masculines and my divine feminine. This reading is specifically for divine masculine from December 28th until the second week of January of 2021. Okay, now, divine feminine. Do I give you guys the spoiler alert or should I hold on? Is what I'm thinking. But I should not probably keep you in suspense. So let me tell you the energy from all the cards in here for the divine masculine is not only good, but it is amazing because this card or the cards together is talking about him breaking away from the old cycle of his life. His old pattern, his old karma, whatever the debts he had in the previous karma is all washing away and has been washing away for quite some time. But now that energy has completely changed for him. Okay, because see, the thing is, I have explained this before as well. Whenever there is a change, a transformation, metamorphosis, whatever that happens in our life, guys, where cycles begin and end, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And I've been saying that, have patience. It doesn't happen overnight for anybody. And the divine masculine is also not an exception to the rule. So, it's like the best way to explain this story here for you is to say that, when something collapses, when something breaks down, it doesn't happen at, all of a sudden. I mean, it doesn't happen together. It's like one structure breaking, the second structure breaking, the third structure breaking, unless the whole structure collapses, right? Excuse me. So, for this man in here too, the structures had been collapsing little by little, and this had started happening for quite some time, but now everything has collapsed. It's like the entire structure has collapsed from where he is starting a new structure. It's as simple as that. If that's the best possible way for me to explain this situation here for the divine masculine, guys. Okay. Now, before I get into the main reading, I have pulled up the three Akashic record for this story in here for the man in here. Okay. The first Akashic I get is the Queen of Keys. Now, this is you, divine feminine. Okay. Right away, you're present. Right away, you're present. And the Queen of Keys is that figure. It's that figure who can give him that sense of support that she has for him. She is ready to give him that key for his own life. This key that she has with her could be her feelings towards him, could be the words that she has to say or the ideas that she has to communicate, or show him a guideline, a symbol that informs him of a lot of things in many ways. Okay, so what they are telling him now is take the key from her and feel your sense, how it comes back, how you feel, what is that you kind of experience with that key that she has for you, that she can give you, because This queen is the queen of power. Okay, she herself is powerful in the corporate world, in her position, even at home. She could also be employed in a self employment type of work, but she has a lot of financial independence, authority, and a lot of creative autonomy at work that she displays. So she has the key and she's ready. She's ready. He knows that he has to come to her because she is the only person. She is the only person at this point who can help him, really, to move forward because she knows everything and she knows how to do it. She knows how to do it. So I asked for a clarifier with the Queen of Keys and I get the Three of Cups. This is where he wants to reconcile with the Queen of Keys. He wants to get back to her. He wants to get back to that celebration with her. He wants to party with her. He wants to mix with her group that she has to. Okay, being very generous. Excuse me, being very generous with his friendship towards her and her tribe as well. Because she is that important. Because now he knows that the only person who can help him to move forward is this figure of authority. The Queen of Keys, that's you, divine feminine. Okay, so he's coming. He's coming because thing is that after all that he has gone through, after all that he has learned, after all that he has experienced in his own life, I would say more so, he's coming to the point of his understanding, guys, that, nobody else is like you anymore. And he just cannot, this is a story. He just cannot relate with anybody else now except you. And he is in that position and in that place where everything you say to him, all the signs you give him, all the signs you display, the words you say will be his gospel truth. Will be his gospel truth. It's that energy here, guys, that he wants to do everything for you now. He really wants to. Because he knows, now he is, not only knows, he is come to the place of him totally understanding that without you being present in his life, whatever money he has, whatever he doesn't have, it's not going to help him because there is nobody else in his life to show him the way, to give him that support. So you are the only person, divine feminine. You are the only person who can do that for him. And today he has surrendered himself to this understanding that he knew. Let me put it like that. He already knew, but excuse me, but he was not showing it. He was not displaying it. He was not letting you know how much of authority and power you actually hold in his life. Okay, the next card out, guys, is Five of Forces, or the summer and winter. This card talks about the seasonal change. Now, this is not just a seasonal change. This is the receptive energy of the yin, the female energy of receptivity, where they are telling him to sense what situation in his life requires a peaceful yielding now, or a peaceful harvest now. So they are asking him to integrate with you, with your understanding, with your thought process, for that peace to come back in his life. So, with this energy, it is like exhale the yin and inhale the yang, because that force of you is what he needs within him. That power in you is what he needs within him. You are his power. He is getting everything telepathically. In any other way, he is getting all the power and the support from you. And that is where he feels more confident today, that he can do what he is sensing that he has to do, or what he knows he has to do. So, with this card, the question is to the Divine Masculine, where do you want to apply your speed and action most in your life now? So, it is basically an integration energy. This is the cycle, and it's a perfect time to create a smiling, self loving energy as well, which will be shown to the outer world. This also could mean that a trip is getting ready. He wants to go for a trip, or he is planning a trip. It could be anything for anyone, but it is the integration between the yin and the yang. Okay, it is the integration, and this power, this force of this integration of this cycle, it's what he is grabbing from you, Divine Feminine. Okay, and with this card is clarified with justice, because this is where justice is for him now. Where there was no justice, there was nobody to give him that power, that support. He had nobody. This is where the justice, fairness, the truth of his cause and effect, the karma, where there is a balance, it's going to come back. If he is in a divorce situation, it is also the divorce situation too for some people. I'm even getting that. But where he now wants to honor himself, honor both of you, with the right equity, where justice will be served as soon as this integration is happening or will happen in his life. Because you'll see, this is where the problem was. Like I explained, he did not get this fair play in his life. All he got was nothing. There was no peace, there was no support, there was no strength in his life. And you are the only person, Divine Feminine. You are the only person who is capable of giving him back his justice, being fair in your karma and his karma, which is the yin and the yang energy coming together to create justice in your life. Okay, so this is where the story is heading towards, guys. It's heading towards. And the last card out is the Six of Roses, or the Six of Roses, or the War of Roses. Okay, now this is talking about, guys, it is talking about the time, the Six of Roses or the War of Roses, where there has been a lot of problems, conflict, difficulties, everything, which was the karmic situation for him. This situation that he was stuck in was nothing less than karmic. So where it is, they're telling him where it is time for him to take action now. Where his own awareness, his own vision, his own self-honoring path is required for him to position himself in the best capacity and make his plans to leave that karmic situation and the battlefield. He's leaving that karmic situation. He is clearing his old karmic debts. He's done, over. This is the time he is finished off. He's leaving the battlefield. You know why? Because, see, this card was his place when he got stuck, the crossroad. When he tried his best to work with the karmic situation at one point. But whatever has been happening in that place he's living in or has lived in has not been suitable from his spiritual point of view. So he had been waiting for a long time and watching and waiting and watching and waiting on this situation until the time has come that he's decided to now leave this battlefield. He is done and over with this karmic path, with this karmic situation that has been clarified with the Six of Swords, which is Pluto or transformational energy, where he's moving out of this turbulence to the calm water. Like I said, he also could be going for a trip. He could possibly be leaving the place he's been residing for a long time. Or even the fact that he is recovering from some kind of illness or a near death situation that he had emotionally and mentally, to get back his harmony and restore back his health. He is leaving the battlefield, and the next card out is the death card. Look, where there is an end, a change, a transition that is happening because he is walking away from this karmic situation for good. There's a new beginning. He is looking towards a new beginning, a new transformation, a liberation, a rebirth, where he is making his way towards a new story in his life as he is recovering from any kind of illness or, like I said, a near mental situation of death, where there has been too much going on in that karmic situation that he had been fighting for way too long, but now it's like, I can't do this anymore. His back has been pushed against the wall that now universe is forcing him to leave that situation and walk away, recovering himself from the near-death situation and moving away towards a new beginning and a rebirth for his own life. That was the spoiler alert. It's done. It's done, guys. Okay? So you have to understand that this man, as much as you would like to blame him for whatever he has done, and yes, I have said this over because I've been doing this reading for a long time and I know the story. I have been saying this over a long time, guys, that yes, he has taken wrong decisions in his life. He has done a lot of wrong things, I agree. But today, he has nobody but you, guys. Let me assure you that. So, Divine Feminine, your moral responsibility will be now, when he comes to you, is to give him that adequate support, because he has gone through a tough time. And yes, you can blame him. You can say that, why did he do what he did? But again, like I said, it's easy to say but difficult to do. So if you put yourself in his shoes, you will realize what I'm trying to say, that, when you are in a situation where you have lived for a long time, and then just because of a romantic cause or a romantic reason, or for whatever the cause could be. He just cannot break everything and walk away. There has to be a solid reason for him to now move away, because he has tried hard enough, guys. He has tried hard enough, but he could not do what he possibly might have felt at one point, that he could manage the show without coming to you, or surrendering himself to you. He thought he possibly could, but like I say always, man proposes, God disposes, right? So what you think will happen is what you are proposing, but universe knows what the storyline will be here for both of you. As simple as that. Now let's move into the next part of the reading. The first card astrologically he gets is stability, or card number 38, breaks down to 11 and 2. Okay, which is talking about Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, stability in the 3D, accepting responsibility for himself as well as his body, becoming organized. Because see, again, like, you have to understand, this was a situation, guys, where he was totally disorganized because he was trying to combat a bad force against his will. So, it is a situation when you're fighting your enemies. I would say this is the enemy. When you're fighting your enemy, you are exhausted, and because you're trying every time to go against the wind to defend yourself from the next vicious attack. So you're always on guard, your body is always on guard, your health is crumbling, because you were always worried that the next attack could be more vicious than the last one. So your mind, your body is very tight, very, very tight, where you could not organize yourself, divine masculine, or accept responsibility for your own action. So which is where the entire thing is changing, because he has left the karmic situation, the karmic path, to becoming more organized and accepting back his responsibility, guys. He's setting down the foundations for his life and his love with this card. Connecting with people, connecting with powerful individuals like you, divine feminine, those who can now make a difference in his life. Some of you, divine masculine, could be going into some kind of business. With this card, it is again talking about learning to trust, giving trust, and asking for trust. Okay, it's the Ace of Pentacles. It's the new beginning, where they are telling him now is the time to draw his strength and think of himself as a solid, rooted tree who is very firm. Nothing can knock him down or knock him out of the spot. Wow. That is the kind of stability in the physical world, where he can now possibly move into a direction where he can stay with nature if he loves nature, or loves animal, or even human beings. But also they are telling him not to become stubborn. Allow others to be who they are. Don't rush into criticism or try to criticize anybody at this point for whoever and whatever they are. Because matters in his physical life is becoming rock solid now. And you may, the divine masculine, may have to prove himself in some tangible way at this time or coming very soon in the near future. Okay, but the only warning they are giving him is it is not time to rush things. Patience is needed to get where he wants to be. Because again, if he rushes too quickly, things can collapse. Because he's building a foundation. So when he's building a foundation, it has to be very rock solid. Because his happiness later on is dependent upon this foundational structure that he's creating, when matters will likely progress at a slow pace now before going forward. Because you know what it is with this card, guys, is he wants this foundation to last, right? He wants it to last for a long time because it is essential for him. And he wants it to last. So he is taking or will be taking his time to make it rock solid for you and him, Divine Feminine, so that it will last for a very long time and will not be uprooted like what he faced in the last karma or the karmic path. Okay, so he is restabilizing himself with the Sun card as a spirit card with lot of energy, lot of vigor, lot of force, lot of good health. He wants to build himself with his health as well, guys. He wants to have a rock solid health. Because remember, I think in one of the reading before I had said that he has to match up with you, Divine Feminine. So even the physical energy, the body, the physical energy has to be at in equal vibrations between the two of you. So his body needs to be recharged, his health needs to be recharged, his wealth needs to be recharged. So he's working on this basic foundation of his health and vigor with a lot of positivity to bring back that strength after all the depletion that has happened in his life in here. Okay, so he's working at a very slow pace. You might not see that, you might not know that. I'm just letting you know, guys, because he's paying very, very close attention to what he now wants it to last, or wants that thing to last, that solid foundation to last for a long time. So he's taking his time to build back his health, his wealth. He's putting back things in the right way. He's becoming more organized with his life from a very fragmented energy, which the Sun is clarified with the Death card again and the Sacral Chakra. You know, this is a complete transition, a transformational, a complete shift in the whole story in here, guys. A complete shift in the whole story. Because see, this is what I'm saying. His body was depleted. His energy had been depleted. Whether you know it, you don't know it, that's a different story. But this is where he was, guys. From where he's releasing the old, this transformational energy, the cycle is moving out, where he is bringing back the sacral chakra of I want. So this is where the Ace of Pentacles, because he is wanting his body, his health, his wealth back. Okay, everything should be coming back to him. I want. That is his mantra. And this chakra relates to his emotions, desires, creativity, and even his sexuality. So, you know what I'm getting, guys? His body is important. His body part of the story, which is the foundational part of the story, because like I told you, if he cannot match your energy level, then he falls flat on his face. So he has to be in that equal vibrational energy with you in order for him to do the right stuff again. So he's working on this entire process very, very closely, very organized, looking into the rock solid foundation, because now whatever he is going to start, he wants it to last forever. This two card, the release and the sacral chakra, guys, is clarified by the fortune card of coffin or death again. This is a huge, huge, huge time for the divine masculine. That's what I said, guys. Like, this is a complete end and a beginning that I have been waiting to see for you people for a long time. For a long time, which finally is coming up on the surface, on the table. He's closing the last doors, completely gone, washed away, finished, finito. That's what I would like to say. It's gone. Because that karmic structure, that karmic path that he had been traveling for a long time, guys, was the path to his problems, which for a long time he fought by himself. Because, like I told you, nobody just wants to leave things and move out of their comfort zone. Okay? But over the years, when you have been doing the same thing, like today, he's come to the point of realizing that, you know what? What have I been doing? I spoiled my health, I spoiled my wealth, I spoiled my emotions on something that was completely useless, worthless. That's the way I would like to say here. And that's where the shift is. Total shift. With the Jupiter and Saturn transit, total shift. The next card out is Pluto or transformation again, card number 11, guys. 11, which is talking about the Six of Swords, recovery, transformations, endings and beginnings, new ways, the end of the old, lot of intensity, lot of destruction, lot of creation, lot of regeneration, lot of passing away of the old and bringing in the new. Bringing in the new. That could include getting out of the crossroad, getting out of the divorce situation, making changes in his finances, but being profoundly rebellious with the Six of Swords, which is Pluto. Which is Pluto or the transformational energy, guys. That's clarified by card number 15, breaks down to 6. Appreciation. He is moving out. He's learning to appreciate back himself for who he is. It's a very singular energy. Okay, learning to give himself the time, that energy. He's learning to honor back himself and honor you back as well. And honor you back as well. He's grateful. He's appreciating you for all that you have done for him, for all that you possibly can do for him again. Being alone, being single, for some of you, that you have achieved in your life is what he is appreciating completely, and he is in complete gratitude for this change that he is going through at this point, being clarified with 2 cards. Again, the death card, guys. The wheel, card number 10, and card number 3, nurture, which is the Empress energy. Endings and beginnings. The wheel. The destiny turning for him. Everything else is washing away. Excuse me. Giving birth to himself again, guys. Giving birth to himself again. Clarified by the fortune card of 7, number 7, or occupation. Like some of you guys in the divine masculine can also be looking into a new occupation or thinking about this new occupation or anything that is keeping him totally occupied with this shifting cycles that is happening in his life. Okay, So this is, again, like I said, he's occupied with organizing himself. He's occupied with changing himself. He's occupied with his own transitional energy. He's occupied with this metamorphosis that is going on in his life at this point in time. So he's completely involved in the structure of change that is happening around him and within him at this point in time, guys. So this is a complete, like I said, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. When I'm looking at the card to tell you what I'm telling, it's a lot of things that is good because, like I said, he wants things to last. So he is putting up the whole show once again from the scratch so that when he comes to you in the right way, he wants to come to you in the right way and you can see him from a different point of view, from a different perspective of your own understanding. You will see a completely changed, a different person or a personality. The next card out is Leo I Will, or card number 17 breaks down to card number 8, which is talking about that strength. His spirit, his personality includes his heart, his romance, lot of romantic desire with this chakra, the sacral chakra, guys. Lot of romantic desire for you, divine feminine. Lot of passion, the matter of the heart. Lot of creative invention. But pride without arrogance is very important for him as an individual as he's rising up on the surface and standing out, with his heart on fire. With his heart, he's like wearing his heart on the sleeves kind of a situation. Lot of strength coming back into his heart, into his body. Clarified with card number 16 breaks down to 7, the Jupiter energy of the divine timing or the patience, guys, where the divine timing is at work in his life. Everything that is happening now, ladies and gentlemen, it's all divinely orchestrated. Let me tell you that. Clarified, the patience card is clarified with card number 3, or share the love. Look at his heart, guys. He wants to give you back everything. He wants to give you back his heart in the right way. Being heart-centered for you, divine feminine, was the point that he had been missing out for a very long time, where he is now ready to offer the heart. He is on his hands and he's like, you know what? Just take my heart. Just take my heart. I want you to take my heart. I want you to give away my heart to you. And in return, I ask back only your heart for myself. It's that kind of an energy, guys, which is clarified by toil and labor. This is where he is working himself a lot, to build back that strength, to build back himself, his health, his wealth. He's putting up a lot of effort to become very organized in the work that he is doing, to put full focus and dedication in the work that he is doing in order to actually get things under his control and do the right things from here onwards. The bottom of the deck, guys, let me talk about it before I move forward, otherwise I'll forget about it, okay? The bottom of the deck is the Grand Trine Blessing, or card number 46 breaks down to 10. Excuse me. Which is like the Temperance card, guys, where there was a lot of harmony, a completion that's happening, bringing back harmony in his life, where he now wants to be in a good place, with a very easy flowing energy. And then you got Jupiter 7, or abundance, which is the Chariot energy, where he's moving towards this beautiful energy from a place of Mercury retrograde or reinvention, which was a three of sword, the two of sword energy, from all the blunders that he had created. He's completing that circle to bring back opportunity and contentment in his own life. The Saturn and Jupiter transit has created havoc in everybody's life, including the divine masculine's life as well. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. The 20 years of his karmic path is washing away because now he is going into the next 20 years of his life path. As simple as that. Very, very simple, guys. This energetic understanding is not very difficult. As you're moving through this reading to understand what it is that is happening in the universal, from the universal part of the story or the universal context of the story. Okay, so get ready. Things are moving. You might just not know about it right away, but it's all happening. It's all happening, guys. Okay, so hold your horses. The bottom of the energy oracle is man holding a heart, or card number 945, which is talking about a situation where his heart was in a lot of pain. Lot of pain. People have abused his heart. Conditions, situations have killed his heart, from where he is coming back once again to bring back his heart in the right place, because this grand trine blessing is a completion as well. To get into the easy flowing energy where he doesn't have to be bothered about other things in life anymore. The bottom of the other deck in here is Confront, which is the Moon card. And it's all happening because he has learned to confront his own fear now. All the fear issues that he probably had, guys, had been his problem, from where card number 3, take that lead, and then the solar plexus chakra I can. It's all coming into the surface because he's confronting his own fears to take that lead. Where earlier he had not been able to do that because he always got stuck whenever he tried to confront his own fear. Okay, the bottom of the deck for the fortune is the family room, or card number 21, and then you got card number 9, where there is a change that is coming into his life. 9 and 21, giving birth to something in his life, in his own life, where there is a change that is in the pipeline, in the process, guys. The bottom of the Akashic deck, I'm going to take all the 3 because it's got a message here, is the bird's nest expansion, the chess game, where he got stuck. He could not move because, there were a lot of people in his life who did not allow him to move. And those were the people who were serving their own agenda, but were preventing him from moving forward. So whenever he tried to move forward with you, Divine Feminine, he could not because he got stuck in that rut of those other people, other situations, other conditions that was prevailing in his collective part of the story, where you are showing up in here, Divine Feminine, with the Queen of Scrolls. That's you again. The Queen of Keys, the Queen of Scrolls. She is that person of wisdom. And she is very close to her Akashic record. Okay? So this is the time that he can feel the Queen of Scrolls approach, the way you have handled your life. How you have worked with your conscious mind and sparkling brilliance in your life, Divine Feminine. This is where he feels a little bit of regret because he could not be like you. He could not be like you, the Queen of Scrolls. He did not have that initiative or the courage or that strength to fight his enemies the way that you have done, Divine Feminine. This is where there is a little bit, where he feels that he could have done things like you now. But, when he looks back, he looks at you and he sees you in your sparkling brilliance of wisdom, understanding, strength, courage. And he feels that, okay, this is what I'm getting. He feels like, oh, well, I could have been somebody like her too. I could have been somebody like her a long time before. If only I knew that the path I was following was a completely wrong one. And what she was doing or she had been doing was the right one. And I should have been her follower. Because see, again, like I said, this is very, very, what is the word I'm looking for? It's very human. It's only human to think like that, because when we see somebody in our life, where others have done better, we are not jealous. I'm not talking about being jealous or envious. I'm just talking about the fact that there is a regret where you feel that, oh, if only I had done what she did before, or the way that she managed her life before. If only I had been following that process before. The bottom of this tarot deck is the Seven of Cups, the Four of Pentacles. This is where this death and transition is happening from that stuck energy, guys, where he had been only daydreaming but not trying to move, and now he knows he doesn't have any more time. He cannot procrastinate and daydream things anymore. He has to take action on this issue right away. And that is exactly what is happening to him. That is exactly what is happening. Because see, again, like I said, he wanted this, he had the fantasy, he had that illusion, but he had also his wishful thinking, when he was kind of clouded and didn't know what is the right approach, what should I do, which cup should I take, which cup should I leave, right? That area of his life is gone, done and over with. He doesn't have any more time for the wishful thinking, because now it's coming down to practical reality of the awakening call. And this is also, don't forget, this is also a part of his survival. He knows if he doesn't do that now, the next 20 years of his life is gone. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that in the right sense, right? That's where the story is. I'm giving you the hardcore facts. Okay. Let's look at release, sacral chakra, and the coffin here with the tarot here. Nobody wants to knowingly see what happened earlier could have been unknowing, I would say, but it was also a part of his karma. But now what happens if he doesn't do the right thing will be his knowingly that he's not doing. And knowingly, if somebody doesn't do it, it means you are at fault. The universe is not at fault, because the universe is a very fair place. Release, sacral chakra, and the coffin. Universe is a very fair place, guys. Universe gives everybody a fair chance. So right now, he's getting that fair chance, the lover's energy. Look, this is where his problem was. Because see, at one point in time, he was not sure if he wants to make this commitment or the offer to you. He was not sure because he was still not ready. Now he's getting ready. He is ready. He's becoming ready to bring this into union. To bring both of this, embrace the true love and the deep friendship, where he is now making his choice from his heart. And his vibrant health of recovery from an illness. See, this is where I've been talking about. He had been very sick. Now, the sickness could have been physical, mental, emotional. You know it, you don't know it, guys. But this was the problem area for this man. He was not well. Okay, so his heart had not been open because his body was not responding to this beautiful energy of love or sacred union, which is where his strength, his foundation has started to work for him, to bring back everything being heart centered and welcoming you back in the right way, divine feminine, into his life. Let's look at the wheel, the nurture, and the occupation. And this is where he had failed before many a times, is also what I'm getting, guys. Because his health was an issue which he could have hidden from you. Maybe you didn't know about it, or if you knew, it was not the way he probably communicated or had told you about it. But he was not well. And every illness you cannot see. There are some illness in life that is what I call is a hidden illness that people do not know, but the person who is going through knows about it. Let's look at the wheel, the nurture, and the occupation here. So this was the result of his losing his strength, his body, his shape, his mind, his health, everything. It was totally depleted. His wealth, from where he has restarted his life again, guys. This transit has created a lot of havoc. Lot of havoc. And this is where the story has been for this man in here as well. Wow. Unbelievable energies. With the wheel, the nurture, and the occupation, he gets the page of sword. See, his logical thinking is coming back from the eight of sword. His logical thinking is coming back, where the exciting intellectual challenges are surfacing. They are brilliant inside the information that he now needs. And he's looking into every detail very carefully, from that illusion of entrapment, from that lack of self-confidence, which made him feel helpless before, where he was afraid to take action or take responsibility for his own life. That was the karmic situation. When he has paused himself and has understood the whole story of where he went wrong in his life with the six of swords, the Pluto energy here, where now he is understanding his own issues as well. That it was he who did not talk, it was he who did not communicate, it was because he was mentally entrapped, guys. There was a lack of self-confidence in him that made him feel helpless, right? Where he was not empowered enough. This is where the transition is happening in his logical sense. Okay, where he was not empowered enough to go forward or move forward and take decisions in life, really. Let's look at the toil and labor. This is where he was feeling very stuck, helpless, lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem. Here it is where he paused himself to review his own options in life once again. What is that he now needs to do? Because he knows if he continues in this way, he gets nothing, zero. And like I said, knowingly, nobody wants to do that. Knowingly, nobody wants to take that anymore. What he did unknowingly, that was a different part of the story before. But now, knowingly, nobody wants to do that with the Five of Wands energy, look, which is where the Judgment card is, where he was fighting his conflict with others, where he was not able to walk away from all the drama in his life. And he never paused to think whether it was worthwhile, whether it was worth his time and energy to stand up for himself and defend those very ambitious people who were preventing him from moving forward, where there was a lot of conflict that had been going on into his life, where the strength card is coming out with the new energy. That was what he had been fighting, guys. Lord, and this is where the judgment or the awakening has happened, that he cannot go on like this. He cannot. He cannot continue to fight people who are not his type anymore. Let's look at the lover's energy. And this is where his sickness had been. He had been feeling ill because he had been defending, like I told you. He was always on guard because he did not know where the next vicious attack is coming from. And every attack is one more vicious attack. It's like that energy. One more vicious attack. With the lovers, he gets the Queen of Pentacles. Look, this is who he wants in his life. You, Divine Feminine. Generous, practical, gracious, materialistic. The ability to make anything more beautiful than what it is. Where she has her love for her family and home. This is where exactly he's trying the union or tying the union with you. Because he sees you in the Queen of Pentacle energy, guys. Where you have the ability to make anything more beautiful than it is. When you have your love for your home and family. When you are very, very practical about your progress in life. When you have a lot of love for art and beauty and a very sensible approach towards any situation in life. This is how he also looks at you. From that stability point of view, from the Ace of Pentacles, this is what he wants with you. This is where he is working because he also wants you in that same shape and form. And he also wants you in that same shape and form to give him that support in the 3D. In the material world. Let's look at the Page of Swords and the Eight of Swords. And this Eight of Swords, like I said, he has paused to reflect on his own understanding. And that took him a long time, of course, because he's coming out of a situation where earlier he did not see that as a problem. Or even if we had seen that as a problem, he did not pay attention to that. You know what I mean? Now he's paying attention to his own problem because he's getting back his strength to understand where he went wrong in his life with the Six of Swords. Six of Wands. Victory. He's getting victory out of his choices to open up his mental process in life. And this is like the sun energy, guys. Where Lord of Sun is coming back into his positive, the sunshine is coming back into him to bring back that positive inflow of energy that, yes, he is worth every single part of his victory. Everything that he does should be very victorious. From all that entrapment, he is breaking free from that entrapment because, like I said, he has paused to reflect. This occupation that you're getting here in the fortune card, guys, it's also the pause to reflect on the situation that he had been stuck in, where he has gone wrong for himself. What he did wrong for himself is also that situation where he's coming to his understanding that this cannot go on. Let's look at the Five of Wands. And this is where the Judgment card is. Totally a Judgment card here. Okay, this is the awakening, the rebirth with the Eight of Cups. Look, this is what he's leaving. This is what he's leaving behind because he has realized that these are the people, these are the situations that is not going to serve him anymore. And this is where he's leaving it. There is a change in his priorities and you get the Six of Swords here. Look, you get that Six of Swords. There is a lot of Six of Swords here, guys. Lot of Six of Swords. The end to the challenging times he had been going through in his own life is coming up in here because he has no patience to deal with this issue. Yeah. He's opening his heart, guys. He's opening his heart. There are brilliant ideas coming, which is manifesting right now, but he wants to manifest with you, so he has to move on, seeking more from life than what he has experienced before in his life, guys. There is a spiritual quest in his life that's coming up in here as well, which is choosing to make big life changes in his area, a change in his priorities of what earlier. This is also a judgment card. This is also a judgment card. There is a big awakening in his life for the divine masculine, guys. Big time awakening that, like I said, this entire transformation, it's all happening because of this story, because of this Jupiter-Saturn transit, because today he's coming to the point of realizing what his problem in life was. It was like, he could have blamed other people, he could have done anything, but it was his own story, not other people's story at all. At all. It was his own story, guys. So now he is going to be working for himself, by himself, and he'll show you a different personality going forward. You will be surprised as well, for all I know. Divine Feminine. Okay. Let's look at the Lover's energy here with this Oracle card here. Hold on. The material world. Yeah, it's all happening in the 3D, guys. For a long time, it was all in the 5D. It's all coming down to the 3D here. It's all coming down. There's a fresh start. Look. There's a fresh start to your story again, Divine Feminine. And it's all happening in the 3D because this is where the story had been waiting for a long time to happen in the 3D as well. Let's look at the Page of Sword here first. It's like this action has started to happen in the 3D now. Yeah. Union and self-worth. What he wants in his life now. With whom he wants to carry forward his life, guys. This is the shadow energy. And this is his self-worth. Which is coming back into effect with the Page of Sword energy, guys. The self-worth is very important, or it also could be how he is breaking free from the old karmic path towards his own self-worth as well, is also what I'm getting. Okay. His last karmic union that he had took away his self-worth, which is what he has reviewed completely. Like I said, to move away from that situation where he's possibly dividing assets or taking his time to divide his finances to bring back his own self-worth in the material world. Let's look at the Eight of Swords energy here. Where he could also become very blunt. With the Eight of Swords, he gets the Hangman. See, this is where the transition is occurring with the Hangman energy, with the Eight of Swords. He's learning to understand himself so much better in order to bring, because he now knows where he went wrong in the material world. He knows that his self-worth was the problem. He did not have that self-worth, which is where he is paused in order to recreate back that energy that's going to carry him forward. Let's look at the Five of Wands. And this is where the judgment has occurred. This is where he has realized that he had been fighting people who did not really matter in his life or who never will matter in his life going forward. Because they were people who came into his life to create conflict with opposing ideas and opposing opinions. Like, it's like, okay, it's like that energy, when you say something and the other person immediately says just the opposite. And he had been fighting that, which is where he is now walking away from the drama, because this judgment is happening where he has realized that he had been doing the wrong thing by, kind of opposing those people and trying to defend his own ideas against those who did not even honor him for who he is. And there you get the answer is yes, what I just said. This is the story, guys. This is where he had been fighting a dead battle, and vibrations from where he's rising out of that story. He's moving out. It's done. It's over with, because he's no longer going to stand there and fight those people or defend their ideas or them defending his ideas. He's not going to be there with those kind of people, because they are not his tribe members. They are not who he wants to be with anymore. It was only full of drama and nothing else. Let's look at the Queen of Pentacles here. He's standing up for himself in here. Pride and ego. See, this is where the problem was, guys. There was a lot of pride and ego in him in coming towards you. And the tribe. Yeah, see, there was a lot of pride and ego that he could not defeat before he came back to you. And this is where the story is completely changing with the pride and ego. Because today he's realized where he went wrong again. He had been showing you a lot of pride and ego when in reality he knew that was not the truth. Let's look at the Six of Wands here. And this is where the victory is coming. This is where, he is relieving himself from that old pattern of behavior of his pride and ego, where today he has realized or will be realizing that that is not going to be his life path anymore. It cannot be, because this area here, of conflict and tension and stress was something that he never told you, or perhaps his pride and ego had been avoiding him from talking about that situation that had been going on in his immediate environment. He could have been very well hiding that story from you as well, Divine Feminine. And that he had been doing because of his pride and ego, which was the problem area where he has not been able to completely show you or give you the right understanding. Let's look at the Six of Wands here. This is like the sun energy, guys. This is an energy of total victory and happiness, of understanding of everything that he has been going through as to why he could not move out because of the pride and ego, nostalgia and pause. Yeah, see, he was holding on to this pride and ego. He was holding on to a lot of fear. He was holding on to a lot of situation that he has paused to reflect for his own victory, where he went totally wrong and could not be like you, the way you have handled your life, Divine Feminine, why he could not match your style before. Let's look at the Eight of Cups. This is also a judgment card. Here comes the close cycle. This cycle is closing. The last cycle is closing. This is what I said to you guys. This is the cycle that is completing at this point in time, because he has realized his own problem. Third party. Yeah, see, he's walking away from this. Oh, wow. Look at this, guys. Awakening, soul, twin flame, reinvention, ascending. Yeah. Fear. He's coming out of the fear psychosis, people, in order to come towards the twin flame connection from this area of third party that had been interrupting. This is where that Five of Wand energy, where there was a lot of opposing forces in his environment, people who were not what he would have liked them to be. And they were the third party. They were the people who were creating a lot of conflict in his life, which is where things are closing, because he's walking away since he has reflected on his own problems too. Understand that. He's reflected on his own problem as well. And so he's like, I'm not going to be there anymore. Yes, the realization has taken him for a long time to work out, but better late than never, right? The last layer will be the tarot deck in here, guys. I just want to see the last layer before I wind up this reading for you. But this is what I wanted to see, that it's been a long journey, Divine Feminine, for you. And that's why, I understand your pain, your trouble, your suffering, because like I always say, the twin flame journey is not easy. Not easy at all. Let's look at the material world here, please, with the tarot. What does the material world have to say? And see, in the 3D, this is where he was not coming to. He was playing it very safe at one point in time, where he was not bringing you into the 3D realm, because he was scared that people will see you, or people will talk about you, or that he will get involved in that story, and his image will be kind of, not the right image to hold. And that is where his other issue was too. This was another point of his story where he was caught in that situation that he could not really bring this forward into the material world, this love that he had for you, or has for you, guys. I think this wanted to come out. Okay, and this is the Hierophant. This is the commitment. Look. This commitment was something that he was not being able to give you in the material world, which is happening now. Which is happening now. Which is happening now. Wow. Let's look at the union and self-worth here, please. This is the commitment he is giving you, or will give you. The Sun and the King of Cups. Yeah, he's coming full force, guys. He's coming with a lot of passion, lot of emotions towards you with his self-worth. Because this is again where his lack was with his heart. His emotions were not in the right place at one point in time with regards to this commitment here. Because like I told you, he was stuck in his own fear situation, which is where the positivity of the Sun is illuminating his life with his health, his emotions. Everything is coming back in the right way. The Sun comes out twice, guys. Let's look at the Eight of Swords and the Observer. And this is where he was stuck, because see, again, if you're not feeling mentally and emotionally healthy, obviously your body is not responding, and that's where you get stuck with a lot of things. With the Eight of Swords and the Observer, you get a Page of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Yeah. See, this is the truth. He wants to bring back the offer to you guys. He wants to surprise you. And he wants to make you happy. He wants to give you the world with the truth. That is a breakthrough that he has to make you happy now. Bottom of the deck, the Ten of Pentacles. The long-term thing. This is the truth he will even possibly talk to you about. Right? So this is the situation that is turning, that he is now coming forward, or will come forward, being very heart-centered, guys. Being very heart-centered towards your situation, Divine Feminine. Let's look at the answer is yes, and the vibration. And this is where his total vibration is changing, guys. Because he's coming out of the old rut. The Ten of Cups, look. And the Death card. Yeah, he's pushing away the old. The last chapter is closed, or closing, where his emotional fulfillment was negative. The Tower. Wow. Wow. There's a huge Tower moment with the change, guys, of the Four of Pentacles, of his stuck energy, that he had been waiting and thinking and, was not being able to resolve, was not being able to do anything. That's complete tower here. This is the old structure that is collapsing because he was neither moving, not going forward, not coming backward. Financially he was stuck. Emotionally he was stuck. In every situation, it was a very stuck energy that is coming to an end with the tower. With the tower and the death card of the last time, of the last chapter of the Ten of Cups. That's a karmic situation that he had been stuck in. And the Fool card at the bottom, where there is a new beginning towards a new path in his life. Wow. Okay, let's look at the pride and ego. This is where his fight was with you too, Divine Feminine. The Knight of Swords. Yeah, see, this is where he is coming up with a plan of communication and action. The Knight of Swords, very quickly, to cut away his ego towards you that he had been holding, and the Strength card, to bring back the compassion and forgiving himself for his mistake with you that has happened. That has happened, guys. Let's look at the nostalgia and the pause in here. Wow. The Eight of Swords. Yeah. Oh boy. This is where the victory is coming. See, because he has paused to reflect on what he had been holding. And this also could be for him. For some of you, I'm getting even this. And it also could have been the inner child issue. That was nostalgia for him. That was something he was not able to fight and defeat in his life. With the pause card, he has reflected on his own choices that he made before were the wrong choices. Even if it was concerning his childhood or any kind of inner child issue that he had been holding in his life for a very long time. Where the sun is again showing up with the victory card, where he has paused to reflect on the choices and options he had that he had made before were the wrong ones and he doesn't need them anymore. Done. Cycle is closing. Eight of Cups and the cycle. Let's look at the cycle here. The Knight of Cups. There you go. The King of Cups, the Knight of Cups. Okay, and the Nine of Cups. This is the wish fulfillment he's walking towards, guys. Because he knows that you are the only person who can actually help him to fulfill his wishes that has remained unfulfilled for a very long time. This is the last cycle. That's what I said. The last karmic cycle is closing and enabling him to move forward with a lot of love towards the things he now desires in life. The Magician, yeah? Towards communication, getting his tools ready for the communication with strength, with a lot of compassion and being heart-centered towards this situation with you, Divine Feminine. Wow. The Three of Wands and the Six of Wands. Yeah, he's waiting. He's waiting to work on the situation. And the Ten of Wands, getting out of that Ten of Wands situation and the Seven of Pentacles. He is playing with this situation here, guys. As soon as he can communicate things with you, this is where the movement will be. He's going to break away from all the stress, the worries and the tension, because he wants to get it off his heart. He wants to talk to you very, very badly, guys. He wants to talk to you very badly with a lot of compassion. And this is where, the divine timing is at work, where he is kind of planning his stuff, the way he has to handle the communication with you, that's going to only bring back the victory in this connection, in this twin flame situation, from the Three of Swords, from a lot of pain and guilt and suffering and everything that has gone wrong in the story here. He really wants to talk to you badly, but it's just a matter of time, guys, where this energy, let it settle down a little bit and things will get going for you. Enjoy this reading, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. Until we see each other once again, goodbye, God bless, Khuda Hafiz, Namaste.